Hello, ladies and gentlemen. For the people on the Twitch stream, I am so fucking sorry for all of the crazy, weird things that have been happening with the stream tonight. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm sorry you have to listen to me complain about it. Um, all right, but anyway, once again, thanks for coming into History with the Bard. I'm your host, Creepy Bard, and tonight we are going to continue Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 3. The last time we did this, we were slowed down a little bit because I was changing some stuff on the stream, but today we get to come back into Chapter 3 with fresh eyes. So, like we covered last time, we saw Cao Cao decry He Jin. He Jin said, hey, I'm going to go take care of this whole eunuch problem, and that's where we left it. Now, ooh, that's ugly. Now, at this point, He Jin has walked in to the Empress's palace, I guess, and left his guards outside. Obviously, this was stupid, but that's what he did. So he goes in, and he's immediately met with resistance. Defenders of the defenders of the eunuchs show up and basically call him a traitorous shitbag, because he is. For those of you who were paying attention to earlier episodes, you'll remember that He Jin was brought into power by the eunuchs, him and his sister. So the eunuchs set up, kill him for being a backstabbing motherfucker. All's well that ends well. However, Yuan Shao, who had come in defense of He Jin as his personal guard, had been waiting outside and had become concerned that He Jin wasn't anywhere, basically. So he shouts in, hey, He Jin, your carriage is waiting. At which point, they immediately throw out He Jin's severed head, which they had obviously lopped off his shoulders when he turned out to be a backstabbing little shit. At this, naturally it doesn't go well. So, Yuan Shao and Cao Cao set to just murdering every single one of the eunuchs. They miss a few of them, but overall, not only do they kill most of the eunuchs, they also kill most of the eunuchs' families to just sort of nip everything in the bud as long as they can. Now, this series of incredibly brutal murders culminated with the hacking to pieces of 4 of the eunuchs. Hacking to pieces of the eunuchs, also the hacking to pieces of the brother of He Jin, and the burning down of a lot of the buildings in the capital. It did not go well for anyone involved, but I digress. This is grassland and forest. Yeah, we got a lot of forests around here. Let's just drill. So, 4 of the eunuchs, as there were 12 who were in power at the time, 4 of them managed to escape, and in their escape, they managed to spirit away both the Empress and her 2 sons. After a scuffle, the Empress escaped, a couple more of the eunuchs were killed, and business as usual at that point. After those 4 escaped, after those 2 were killed, the 2 sons were still missing as of this point, but Cao Cao set himself to taking care of the fires that had been raging through the capital, and convincing the Empress to sort of take control of the situation and start taking care of civil affairs. While this was going on, other soldiers set off to rescue the 2 sons. Now, it is about this point. As it turns out, the 2 eunuchs who had escaped with the children were spotted as they were retreating, and one of them, instead of, dying to whoever happened to show up at the time, decides, fuck it, and just drowns himself on the spot. Um, but the other one manages to get away with or the other one gets cut down. But the two sons, in confusion, end up, hiding from the soldiers because they don't know what the fuck's going on. Shit's just blowing up around them, burning, killing, cats and dogs raining from the sky. But they're fucking terrified, and they have no idea what's going on. So they decide, we're going to go ahead and just hide for a little bit instead of deal with whatever the fuck is going on out there. So they remain hidden for most of the night, while soldiers are just going everywhere trying to find these kids. So they're soaked to the bone, they're terrified, they're tired, they're hungry, and they're just freaking out all over the place. But the younger brother decides, okay, enough of this bullshit. We're going to go ahead and get this sorted out. So he gets up and goes to a small farm that's nearby and basically says, look, I'm the prince, this is the emperor, some shit went down in the capital, and we would really appreciate you helping us out. The farmer, once he finds out who these two are, decides, yes, these guys deserve help. The emperor is an awesome dude. I mean, whatever, he's the emperor, you're supposed to follow him. So he makes sure they've got warm clothes, makes sure they're fed, and gives them a place to sort of relax and stay alive for a little while and rest. It's at this time that a general from in town shows up and decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead and help you guys out and get your shit sorted out. I'm going to help you get to the capital. So he goes off to help them get to the capital. We should. This is a really good area. Sorry, I get distracted here for a second. Bison's really good. Let's go ahead and put it here. But yeah, so he shows up and helps them get to the capital. So on the way to the capital, this group is met by Dong Zhao, who we've established earlier is kind of a scheming shitbag. Now, Dong Zhao meets them and offers his protection to the group. But during the entirety of the problems that these two younger brothers have had, the Emperor has basically been a mewling piece of crap, and the Prince has taken it upon himself to be the kind of person that, people want to follow, that will lead, that will take care of these situations. But he's always made sure that people know exactly who's been in charge the entire time. Not him, the Emperor. But Dong Zhao sees the Prince. Oh, we gotta be a little bit further? Oh, that makes sense. Dong Zhao sees the prince basically just owning up to literally everything and says, man, this guy's pretty boss. I bet we could put him on the throne and he'd be awesome. So, at this point, he starts scheming to get this kid put on the throne. Now, obviously, he doesn't have any claim to the throne, and generally speaking, he doesn't want to be on the throne. He's been good buddies with his brother for a while, and would rather, not deal with it. But since he doesn't know anything about this, we'll skip this part. So they finally arrive at the capital, and when they get there, they discover that the Imperial Hereditary Seal, the mark of the Emperor, the special seal of the Emperor, is lost. No one has any idea where it's at. So they can't really put the Emperor on the throne yet. So they start, chilling, waiting to figure out, what's going on, looking for this Imperial Hereditary Seal, things like that. And it's during this time... It's during this time that Dong Zhao decides he's going to make his move. And he's going to get this kid put on the throne. So, he, talks to his advisor, and his advisor is like, yes, if you're going to do it, this is the perfect time to do it. He's got no idea, or nobody's got any idea what's going on, and you've just been running around the streets in full armor with full armored guard for the last few days, putting everybody else into a panic and terrified. So yeah, this is a great time to do this. So, he sets up... we don't have roads. That's frustrating. He sets up this great big feast, this banquet for all of these generals. And he sits them all down, and or they all show up to this big feast.